Mad. This is so weird. Right, so before we go ahead and get into today's video, I'm going to go ahead and explain why there's no camera first off, because I'm sure all of you guys are probably wondering what on earth is going on. So literally, before I went to go to record today's video, my lens on my camera completely is broken. I actually don't know how it's this broken, but it is broken. So over the next course of the next few videos, there's not going to be any face cam. It's going to come back eventually once I can, you know, fund another one. But for right now, we're in a bit of a problem. Now, with that being said, I don't want to dwell on this too much because you guys have not clicked on this video to hear about my camera problems. You've clicked on this video to go ahead and talk about Forza Horizon 4. More specifically, what I don't like with the game. Yo, this is really weird. This is like me going like proper old school, like 2012 cam. Oh, that was a bad time.
What up guys, it is your boy StraightUpHippo.
Yeah, so in today's video we're going to go ahead and talk about what I don't like about Forza Horizon 4. I've praised this game a hell of a lot recently, and I've talked about the good points, you know, a lot of times, but I haven't really talked about the bad points. And as you know, the seasons now are kind of coming to a full cycle. We're going to reach summer very, very soon, and we're going to go through those 4 seasons, and you know, we're going to have experienced everything there is to experience in the game. I feel like now is a good kind of time where I can talk about what I don't like about it. I'm getting ready to do my full review, so a lot of these points you might hear again in that full review, but some of them you might not, because there might be a little minor, little nitpicks. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and talk about what I think. So first off, let's talk seasons. Seasons is really good. The idea of seasons and the premise of seasons is really, really good. And like, to be honest, I think the execution is almost perfect, but there's a few little niggle things I have with seasons itself which just don't really make a lot of sense. Number one, why can I go into, you know, PvP and then you play in any different season? So they've made it a very, very like obvious thing that, you know, the game changes with the seasons and seasons last for a week. But this is kind of completely negated by the fact you can go into PvP and play in any of the different seasonal modes. So currently, for example, we are in spring, but if I went into PvP, it could give me a winter playlist. To me, that makes no sense. Why would you offer the option to do that when you've made it so clear that it's not like it's a weekly thing, it's a special thing when a season changes? It really takes a lot of the hit out of it for me. For me, I would much prefer it if that wasn't the case and seasons were literally a weekly thing, and the only way you could change it is in Forza Blueprints if you were playing with your friends or with AI. In that time, I don't really mind. But when you're going into public PvP lobbies and the season just keeps on changing, especially for someone like me who plays a lot of multiplayer from Forza, it kind of disrupts the kind of gameplay, and it kind of gives you a bit of a disconnect from what's actually going on. I love the idea of seasons, and it genuinely does change the game, and the content they keep bringing with seasons is amazing, and I really like that. Even the events, there's more and more events that are coming along, and obviously we know the route creator is coming along in the next kind of patch of events and stuff. The point is, seasons is really, really good. It's just really annoying that this little problem is there, because it kind of just, there's a bit of a disconnect between what's actually going on, and I feel like if it was literally tied, the season but also tied to PvP, it would make a lot more sense. I've made extensive videos talking about ranked PvP, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, but we all know there's problems there. Watch the other videos on it. I don't want to ramble on for another 10 minutes about the player versus player. Once you finish the end game, there is a lot of things to do, and I want to make that abundantly clear. If you're into player versus player, there's a lot of things to do. Obviously, the seasonal events keep coming along, and there's Forza's on live. There's plenty of things to do, but it does kind of feel like the map gets a bit scarce at times. I've got a lot of collectibles to find. I've got a lot of bomb finds to do, and all that kind of stuff. Well, I've got like a few more bomb finds to do, but it can feel a bit dead at times on the map, you know, once you finish all of the main races. I've done all the main races a long time ago now, and I'm kind of only relying on PvP to keep me going, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I really enjoy that part of the game, but you can see how, you know, that gets quite repetitive, and I have started playing other games now, as I've stopped playing less and less Forza, because I've obviously done all the single player stuff. But I imagine with time, with updates, with route creator coming very, very soon, you know, obviously that is going to be ironed out, but that is something which I've noticed, you know, before any major update. Let's also keep in mind that Forza is getting expansions, and this isn't going to be, you know, your normal, you know, DLC update. This is going to be an expansion. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. So, you know, Lord knows what they're going to bring with it. It could be genuinely anything. They could bring a London expansion for all we know. But as of now, that's that's not the case, and I just wanted to quickly mention that before we go on to my next thing. The overpowered all-wheel drive cars. Yes, I know I said all-wheel drive wasn't overpowered, but please let me explain. So I've quickly talked about this in one of my PvP videos, so I'm not going to dwell on this for too long, but essentially all-wheel drive is much better than rear-wheel drive in team adventures. Unless you're playing Summer S2 or Summer S1 maybe, or maybe even, you know, road racing A-class. You know, the road racing you can get away with playing rear-wheel drive. I think in a lot of places it's actually much more beneficial. The Senna is one of the best rear-wheel drive cars in this game, and that's very much proven. You know, even cars like the RX-7 in A-class, very, very good. But with all that being said, you know, if you are playing in cross-country events or off-road events, you're almost always going to pick all-wheel drive, and this comes down to the disconnect that there is in team adventures and the kind of design problems that they've made. Free roam rush needs to go. It just doesn't make any sense. It literally is tree dodging. It's all-wheel drive cars only. If you don't have an all-wheel drive car, you're really going to struggle. There's no way a Senna is going to get across there, but it's just one of those things. It's not really balanced. I'd love to see this tweaked in the future. I'd love to see, you know, Playground mess around with these modes in the game, but at the moment it does feel like there is a tendency to lean to all-wheel drive, and it is a bit annoying. You know, I am a big fan of the rear-wheel drive cars in this game. I like how they play. I like how you have to catch it and you can't be too aggressive with the throttle, otherwise the car is going to punish you. I like that. I like the sense of you know, how hard it is. I like how there's an extra layer to gameplay. And with all-wheel drive cars, yes, there is another layer of gameplay, but I feel with rear-wheel drive, for me personally, with my playstyle, it's a lot more interesting, and I'd love to be able to use rear-wheel drive cars more in the game, you know, if things like free roam rush were like kind of a bit more balanced, because at the moment it's not really that balanced. If you take an all-wheel drive car and a rear-wheel drive car in an on-road race and pit them against each other, it's going to be very, very similar. The rear-wheel drive car is probably going to, you know, get power better on the longest straights, as where the all-wheel drive cars are probably going to be better around corners. But it's just a completely different playstyle, and it's one of those things you can't really do that, you know, online because of things like free roam rush, and in the cross-country events and in the dirt events, it just doesn't make any sense, since you are going to be off-road, and obviously all-wheel drive is going to be better off-road. My final point, and this is kind of a bit of a weird one, it's one of those things that, again, you can't really manage this, but it would be nice to see in ranked, especially if it was one-make races. I haven't really talked about this a lot, but the idea of bringing everyone in using one specific car, so everyone's car is the same, so everyone's on a level playing field, is really cool, because I have come across many cars or many people who've just got absolutely amazing tunes, and no matter what you do, really hard to beat them. I would love to see a mode where everyone's racing in the same car and it makes it completely fair, or maybe if you get to a certain level of ranked, that becomes a thing, like in the top 10 levels, you then have to, you know, race it in the same car and you're forced to drive the same car. I like that idea. It makes it a bit more competitive, and I'd love to see like something like that come through. Again, these are all ideas, and these are all things which, you know, I've kind of just come across with the game, and other things that I haven't enjoyed include Forza Live. I feel like the idea is really good, but the execution is a bit tedious. You know, little things like not knowing what the group target is and that kind of thing, it makes the whole event a bit tedious. Obviously they're random, so you can't just go into a Forza Live whenever you want. That's a bit annoying as well. And also with Forza Live, you don't know what events you're going to be doing, so you can actually end up spending more time changing cars than actually doing the Forza Live. Again, little nitpicky problems, but they do add up in the end, and these are the types of things which I'm having problems with Forza. To be honest, if these are my main problems with Forza, I think that says a lot about the game. Clearly things aren't that bad if these are the main problems, you know, like if these are very, very kind of, I wouldn't say some of them are very nitpicky. I think some of them are major things which do need to be solved, but at the same time, I also think that, you know, if these are the biggest problems in the game, you know, there could be a lot worse things to be complaining about, like other games but have no end game, or other games that, you know, are missing free roam on launch. This isn't the case, you know. These are little nitpicky problems to tune the game, to make it a bit better, and to kind of fine-tune things to make sure that, you know, Forza is the best it can be. And I think if they implemented a few of these things, that would make it a lot better. So like I said at the start of the video, my review is going to be up of this very soon. I'm going to give it probably a few more days just so I can mess around with spring a bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in depth and talk about everything I've learned with my 17 days playtime in this game. I'm looking forward to making that video because I've got a lot of things to say. I've got a lot more bad points, a lot more good points to talk about, but I didn't want to make this video too long. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What do you guys think about everything I've said in this video? Make sure you go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. That's been it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.